Alright guys, so today we're going back to the prohibition times. Hey guys, it's April again and we are here to talk about Mamie Thurman today. So for you guys that don't know very much about Mamie, she was born Mamie Morrison. Her birthday was September 12th, 1900, and she was born in Kentucky. She married Jack Thurman in 1924, and he was 16 years older than her. When they got married, they moved from Bradfordsville, Kentucky to Logan County, West Virginia. Jack was hired as a patrolman for the local police department, thanks to who we find out to be his landlord, Harry Robertson. So when they moved to Logan County, West Virginia, they rented a small 2-room apartment on Harry and Lois Robertson's property, and they lived there for 8 years. Jack worked nights and he just kind of assumed that Mamie was staying home and taking care of the house, but it actually turned out that was not the case. So a little about Mamie. She was a pretty dark-haired 31-year-old. She was known as a very good wife. She was known as a saintly woman and also a frequent church worker at their church Nybert Memorial Church. She was known for her popularity and very friendly manner, so she was known to frequent the speakeasies and the clubs around Logan County. She was also known to have an affair with 16 men that she had actually written in a note to Harry Robertson. Harry Robertson, the landlord, happened to be one of the 16 men, and they actually had an affair for 2 years. So Harry was described as a greasy-haired, pinched-faced man that wore thick glasses. He was also a bookkeeper at the National Bank of Logan. He was also known as the treasurer of the Logan Public Library. So he had a handyman that lived with him named Clarence Stephenson. Clarence Stephenson was a 38-year-old African-American handyman that just worked around their house, and he loved to fox hunt. Clarence used to help set up the meetings between Mamie and Harry. He would take Harry to go fox hunt with him, and then throughout the hunting, he would drop him off to the predetermined areas between Harry and Mamie to have their affairs. Harry and Mamie were also known to be members of the Key Club in Logan County. The club's purpose was to be a place that people could drink since it was during Prohibition, and also to have illicit sex and other activities such as that. So the night that Mamie went missing, at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, September 21st, 1932, Mamie left her apartment with the woman who does her laundry. They had walked down to a convenience store. That way Mamie could get change to pay this woman for doing her laundry. So the last known sighting of Mamie alive was around 9 o'clock, and she was walking in front of a theater in Logan County. So on Wednesday, September 22nd, 1932, Mamie's body was found, and it was known to be dead for about 12 hours at that point on 22 Mine Road on Trace Mountain. So a little bit about the man who found Mamie. His name was Garland Davis. He was a deaf mute. He was just picking berries at the top of Trace Mountain. He discovered Mamie's body was shot and stabbed, and there was a piece of paper near her body that had a license plate number. He was also the one that had gotten a hold of the police for everybody and got the investigation going. So the things that were found with the body was one shoe, a diamond engagement ring, and a silver wedding ring. So that helped them rule out robbery because it was very uncommon for them to leave like diamond engagement rings and wedding rings. That stuff is known to be expensive. So it did help rule out robbery. What was found 30 feet away from her was her other shoe, her purse, $8 in change, cigarettes, a wristband, and her hat that had a bullet hole through it. Mamie had been shot twice by a .38 caliber pistol. The bullets entered near her left ear and exited the skull. So the bullets were never found. So it is known theory that people have thought that she was shot elsewhere and just placed there once they were done with her, pretty much. There was powder residue that did cover her face and left ear from the bullets that did enter her skull. Her throat had been completely slashed. According to the Charleston Daily Mail, when they slashed her throat, it severed her trachea, her carotid artery, and her jugular vein. Also, her neck was broken at the second cervical vertebrae. There was bruising around her right eye, and there was little blood that remained in her body. The death did result from the gunshot wounds and not from her throat being slashed. The dye from her blue polka dot dress had leaked onto her underwear and the ground around her due to the heavy rain that was that night, and that also helped them pinpoint that she had been there for a while. So the suspects happened to be Harry Robertson and Clarence Stephenson almost immediately. Robertson's house was searched by the state police and they found bloody rags and a razor there. They found that there was a depression on the basement wall that was concurrent to a bullet hole. Also, there was blood found on Harry Robertson's Ford sedan door, window, and seat of his car. They eventually did arrest Clarence Stephenson, but Harry was never indicted. The trial was standing room only, and people were bringing their own seats and their lunch. Stephenson did serve his time in Moundsville prison. All right, so according to the death certificate, she was supposed to be buried at Logan Memorial Park in McConnell, West Virginia. Other records show that her body was transferred to Bradfordsville, Kentucky. No one knows for sure where she is buried. So her half-brother, George Morrison Jr., in 1983 came into Logan County and decided he wanted to find out what happened to his sister. And he also wanted to buy a headstone for her grave. And he could never find where she was buried. Nobody knows where she's buried. I mean, how does nobody know that? So, as you can probably guess, Mamie's here to haunt the shit out of everybody because nobody did her case justice. So, she is known to haunt 22 Mine Road, where her body was found. She's said to be at the top of the mountain, just walking around the road. Supposedly, if you park your car at the bottom of 22 Mine Road and you put it in neutral, your car will start rolling upwards. And people, there's tons of YouTube videos of this happening. Tons of people that say that's happened. Tons of people that go and try it all the time. Also, if you want to get a little weirder, some cars have seen her handprints on them. And several people have claimed to hear Mamie screaming and crying. So, some of the theories. There is not hardly anybody that believes Clarence Stephenson killed this woman. So, there's that. They do believe that it probably was one of the 16 men she was sleeping with, though, because she did want to sleep with men that were powerful, like politicians or people that had money or people that ran businesses. So it is theoried that she was sleeping with someone who happened to be dangerous, and either word got out and the man himself killed her, or it was a significant other. Some believe it was her husband that did it and kept his story that he did not know about this reputation before her death. He truly thought she was just home hanging out while he was working nights and had no idea that she was out in this party type scene. All right, so that is the story of Mamie Thurman. I mean, technically, I guess you could count this case as solved, but so many people just don't believe that it was solved. And a lot of people do believe that since her ghost is here and still haunting us, that means that the justice was never found in the right person. So what we learned about Mamie Thurman was that even in the 1920s, women were being attacked for the party lifestyle. Women, listen to me right now. Listen to me. Always carry something to protect yourself. Pepper spray at the least. Do not just assume nothing's going to happen to you. Carry something. Do your research on people. Do it before you just go hang out with someone. Always go out in groups and never, ever, ever, ever leave with someone you don't know, and always have someone to text when you get home or wherever you're going to sleep to make sure you are safe. Please. Because even in the 1920s and 30s, this was happening. It hasn't changed. This case was really interesting. It really opened my eyes. Leave your theories down below because I feel like this one's very open-ended. And also, if you have went to 22 Mine Road and done this little experiment to see if your car rolls or not, please let me know. Please subscribe and thumbs up for me. And also hit that bell button if you want to know when we are going to be uploading from now on. I'll see you